Coming up on Thunder Insider, with the playoffs right around the corner, the Thunder and Spurs are fighting for the West's top seed. We'll break down the remaining schedules and talk about the road ahead for each team. Plus, as the Thunder work to hit their stride at just the right time, the players and coaches discuss the importance of staying even keel and learning from every game.
I'd love to see a game where we can really put it in a dominant defensive performance, start to finish.
And for the fourth consecutive year, Thunder players and employees teamed up with Rebuilding Together to help renovate a home for a special Oklahoma City family.
She's doing a great job bringing these kids and helping raise them. And, we just trying to show how much we appreciate it, the things she's doing.
We've got all that, and Steely took a ride on the Rolling Thunder book bus. Stay tuned. Thunder Insider gets started right now. Hello and welcome everyone to Thunder Insider presented by Integris Health. I'm Kelly Kroll, your host, coming to you from inside our Oklahoman studio, and I am joined by 15-year NBA veteran and Thunder analyst Grant Long, along with the radio voice of Thunder basketball, Matt Pinto. Of course, the Thunder quickly approaching postseason action, and men, we've witnessed them playing some pretty good basketball here down the stretch, and yet they've stumbled here and there. So the consistency is something we're talking about right now, but your thoughts with these last basically 2 weeks left of the season?
Well, it's been a handful of losses down the stretch that have all come by a possession or two. So that, to me, is consistency throughout the flow of the entire game. Not necessarily in the final minute or so, the execution, but the execution for the full 48. When it's been there, this team can be dominant, as we've seen in a couple of instances down the stretch here.
Well, I think as you wind down the season, you have to have a lot of confidence in what you're doing on both sides of the ball. And I think offensively and defensively, this team has a lot of confidence going forward. Now, the wins and losses don't match up toward the end of the season, but I think they still have that amount of confidence that they need to go into the postseason and have success.
Well, we're seeing some different guys emerge and do different things, and one of them that I've heard guys talk about specifically is the way Russell Westbrook is setting the tone and doing what the team needs when they need it, whether it's defensively, passing the ball, getting his teammates involved. Just the way Russell Westbrook is really driving the team right now.
Well, he leads all guards in points in the paint scoring, which shows a ferocious attack mode all the time. We know he's a triple-double threat every time he steps on the court because of his athleticism and his physical strength. So his rebounding numbers are always high, Grant. He's among league leaders at the guard position in the rebound column. And the willingness to recognize what defenses are doing against him and the Thunder has elevated as this season has gone on to set up teammates like this.
Well, it's not a surprise that he has been able to score points in the paint. He has recognized to a large degree that his strength is driving the ball to the basket, getting to that high percentage area. I'm so happy that he's not settling for outside jump shots. He's a very good three-point shooter when he needs to be, but he has a strength or speed and confidence level that he can get by defenders most nights, and I think he's really honed in on that skill, and he takes advantage of it on a nightly basis.
Certainly it's Russell's role to distribute the basketball, but Russell not the only one finding his teammates. Lately we've seen how many willing passers there are on the floor. KD had 8 assists against Milwaukee, and even the big men, Perk and Serge, both finding one another down there. Everyone, it seems to be like getting involved in that offense.
Yeah, and I think the spacing in the half court is essential in that. The recognition of what a defense is doing against them, which I think has continued to grow during the course of this season, and where are guys at spots on the floor, Grant. I think all 5 players are willing, unselfish performers, and that's a tribute to the coaching staff and to the players themselves, and it's nice to see this team clicking offensively. Number 2 team in the NBA scoring the ball.
Well, I think the spacing is key. When you have guys that are going to draw and kick, the spacing is essential, and I think it becomes contagious when you start to make passes and everybody started to get involved in your offense. It makes you a difficult team to defend because the ball is moving, bodies are moving, you're separating the defense, and it creates passing avenues and also driving lanes to the basket, and I think this team is recognizing that, and it's prime time to be able to do it.
Good things always seem to happen when the ball is moving. That's a key we hear the guys talk about every night, along with defense, and that's as well a key every night. Protecting the basket as of late. Serge Ibaka put together 6 games of 5 blocks or more. He's definitely the catalyst, but as Coach Brooks tells us, it takes a collective team effort to be that effective in the paint.
Cullen rolls off Gray, who gives it up to Anderson, who can't finish. Stout paint defense.
Well, our bigs do a great job of protecting the basket, and not allowing easy points around the rim. They understand each other's position and they always look out for one another. I think that's what good teams do defensively. There's trust. There's always trust on the defensive end.
We helping the helper. I think our guards doing a great job of sinking in with Serge, going to help and myself, and we're doing a great job. I think we helping the helper, and it's more guys starting to talk on the court.
But defensively, you have to trust that your teammate's always going to be there protecting you and ready to guard a man that's open. And those four bigs, even when we throw Cole in there, they understand defense as well as anybody on our team.
When you see clips like that, you understand that there's a big-time communication that's going on defensively. And I like the fact that we just talked about contagious ball movement. I think the same thing is happening on the defensive end. It's being contagious. Everybody's wanting to step up and play their best defensive effort. And when you do that, you're able to support one another on drives along the baselines. When the guards get into the lane area, you have to have a trust that somebody's going to be there to back you up.
Nick Collison always talks about keeping a tight paint, and the Thunder, when they're really good defensively, do exactly that. If you don't allow avenues to drive the basketball on the interior, and then when the ball finds its way inside, guys collectively converging on the man with the ball, suddenly this team is really difficult to deal with because everyone knows about their explosiveness offensively. When they're defending and protecting the rim area, forget about it. It's very difficult to beat them.
All of the bigs certainly chipping in. I'm glad you brought up Nick Collison because he was the guy that Coach Brooks pointed out the other night as a guy who does it all. He passes, rebounds, defends, and he cleans up all the little mistakes. We're going to hear from Nick Collison now on his road to the NBA.
I was born in Iowa. I lived in Fort Dodge, Iowa, and I moved when I was 13 years old. I moved to Iowa Falls, Iowa, a couple of small towns. I started going to my dad's practices when I was about 8 or 9 years old after school. I would get a ride to the gym, and I'd be in the gym till he was done every day. So being around the game, and I always had a gym to play at, so I was always able to shoot and play and just kind of develop the love of the game for myself. Outside of basketball, I think my parents had the biggest influence on me. They did a great job of raising me, and a lot of things that they did for me as a kid that I realize now as an adult helped me out so much and actually do help me out in basketball. Having to take responsibility for what you do and not be able to make excuses and you need to work harder, study harder. Well, for me personally, I always had a dream to play in the NBA, but I don't know if it was because I was from a small town or what, but people just didn't do that where I'm from. We never had a guy even play Division I basketball in my school.
Beimers, blocked by Collison, nice job.
My junior, senior year of high school, I started getting recruited by some of the best programs in the country and knew that I would have a shot to play. So I guess it wasn't necessarily a person that felt like I had a chance to play in the NBA, but it was convincing myself that I could really do it.
Bradford up the court to Collison for a stop.
Coach Williams in college was huge for me. He took my game and took it to another level. But the biggest thing he did was taught me how to compete and play hard.
Collison gets it back by
Playing Oklahoma City has been great for me. We have great fans here, great support, and the organization has really done a good job of putting us in a position to be competitive. If there's something that they feel like can be done to help us win games, they do it.
Still ahead on Thunder Insider, OKC's second unit is back intact and providing the team with much-needed energy. We'll have more on the reserves when we come back.
It's Kevin Durant. You're watching Thunder Insider.
Welcome back. Well, as we close in on the final few weeks of the season, guys, I know there are a number of areas that intrigue you, one of which specifically the bench production and the way the second unit has been playing, and how can that prove critical down the stretch?
Well, they're back intact, Kelly, which really makes a difference. All the guys really understand their roles, and they play so well together. Daquan Cook returning after being out 7 games with a knee sprain, and I think Derek Fisher understanding this system day by day in an upped way, Grant, and learning about his teammates makes a huge difference as well. This second unit tends to elevate this team's stock on the floor, build a lead, or grow on a lead if they enter the game in front.
Well, I think the fact that Scott Brooks is able to manipulate that second unit quite a bit now, when he can put Derek Fisher along with Harden and Daquan Cook on the floor at the same time, you have very good three-point shooters who hold their spacing along the perimeter, and it allows guys like Harden, when he has the ball, to get space and get to the basket. And I think that's going to be something that will be vital to their success in the postseason.
Certainly, they're all learning together, it seems like. And one thing that's really impressed me is is the attitude and the mentality of this team. It seems to have remained incredibly consistent throughout the season. I talk to this team every night following the games, and whether they win or lose, they always keep that same "we can't get too high or too low" mindset. Each game a learning experience.
Good rotation there and a good shot for Durant. Offensive rebound won't fall for Ibaka, but there's Perkins working hard, the little things, continuing to work.
Well, I'd like to see us just be a lot more consistent and throughout the game, not have those bad stretches. I'd love to see a game where we can really put it in a dominant defensive performance, start to finish, and get more games like that to where that's more of our habit. And it's not like we're always having to rely on the fourth quarter and making great plays down the stretch. It's great that we've been able to do that, but our overall level of play needs to be higher going into the playoffs.
Good challenge by Ibaka on Johnson at the rim.
I think everybody has to do a better job boxing out their guys. It's not only the big guys, you know, it's all of us guards also boxing out our man, because they're getting a lot of offensive rebounds. So we just got to tighten that up and basically talking a lot more also. You know, some of the guys been silent out there, and I think we got to go back to talking to one another.
I think these last couple of games, Thabo did a great job of, you know, creating, you know, offense with his defense. Serge doing a great job as always with his block shots, and then, you know, hitting that 15-footer, offensive rebound, and even Perk, you know, finishing around the basket. You know, we getting some key baskets. You know, Nick scoring a little bit more, so I think, you know, that's going to help us going into the playoffs. That, you know, everybody's comfortable, you know, shooting that open shot.
Westbrook with a game-high 6th rebound.
Russell Westbrook, you've spoke very highly of him in the last few games. It feels like he has kind of stepped up his game a little, just his leadership skills as of late.
He's been doing a really good job of keeping everything in control, scoring when he wants to score, passing when he wants to pass, and defending. He's doing a great job on the defensive end, and we follow his lead. He's been having a great season so far, man. Hopefully he keeps it up.
What a great play by Russell, realizing he was way too deep.
Just try to, you know, keep everybody, you know, right. You know, we're getting close to the playoffs, and it's time for us to step it up. And I think, you know, it's my job as a point guard to start off with me, you know, defensively, and that's what I've been trying to do.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedules for each of these teams, and you two tell me what you make of them.
Well, San Antonio is loaded with 2 more games than the Thunder, which at this stage of the season, given their age, Grant, I don't think is a real advantage to them. They play 3 back-to-backs and 1 back-to-back-to-back. Thunder have only 1 back-to-back remaining, and when Greg Popovich has shown the propensity to sit guys so that they're rested for postseason, I think the Spurs are going to suffer some dings down the stretch, which could open the door for the Thunder to maintain that #1 seed.
Well, I don't know if they're going to suffer any dings, but I'm thinking that Greg Popovich will manipulate his roster where some guys will not play. He's done that in the past. But for the Thunder, I think they have to get ready to cross all the T's and dot all the I's as far as their defensive schemes and offensive schemes. And I think they have a lot of confidence moving forward.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
We just took out this window. Me and Rush just took that window out. So, you know, it's fun. It's fun. Just having a good time.
For the 4th straight year, Thunder players and employees teamed up with Rebuilding Together to help renovate a home for a very special Oklahoma City family. Sheila Turner and her 5 grandchildren were thrilled to have OKC's guards on hand to assist.
This is my bedroom, and they have moved everything out. Well, it's myself and my 5 grandchildren that I am raising.
Miss Turner seems like an amazing woman, and to raise 5 grandchildren, that just shows her commitment to being with her family. And
obviously, with 5 children with anybody is a real tough thing to take care of. But so we're just helping them out a little bit with the house here, some of the stuff that they haven't been able to do themselves.
So, how you? You all right? Hey.
It's a blessing and it's a challenge, because as I'm a grandparent and at my age, I should be having fun, relaxed. It can get stressful sometimes, but we makes it through.
I think it's really important to ensure that she has a home or a house that really feels like a home as well. She comes home and everything's clean and well painted and everything looks really great.
It's a lot for her to be as old as she is and trying to make sure we get financially supported and everything without any help, and I really appreciate you guys doing this for us. It's a big thing for us because we really needed the help in our house.
Tell them to hurry up and quit going slow.
Well, the last few days of rebuilding together and the Thunder have been tearing my house apart.
She's doing a great job bringing these kids and helping raise them. And, you know, we just trying to show how much we appreciate it. You know, the things she's doing, you know, because kids at that age can be doing a lot more, and she's, you know, putting her all into it, and we just coming over here just to show our support, you know, as a team.
I appreciate everything that everybody is doing for me and my family.
I'm very excited just for meeting Eric. I'm very excited just to sit down and really just like talk to him, because you're not able to do that like at games and stuff because they're tired and they're focused and different things. It's a good experience to know that players that they want to reach out into their community and give back.
We got a special young lady right here, and she's 15, plays basketball, boxes. She does a lot, but it's great to come in here and see the smiles on their face, you know, and just, like I said, it's a great feeling.
And these days and time, nobody has to do anything special for you, and I thank God for it, you know. It is a blessing. The things that I'm not financially able to do, it's a relief where I'm able to actually take care of my family. I got some brand new windows, and they say that I'm gonna be very warm in here during the winter, and I'm gonna be very cool in here during the summer. I'm really simple, I'm down to earth, and any little thing today, just a smile, is all we need sometimes, you know. And when people are going through things and there's a helping hand out to say, I'm gonna lighten the load, it's a blessing and it's a relief to you, you know, to know that people care like the Thunder and the rebuilding together.
What a wonderful project. We see their basketball skills all the time, but how about the handiwork from those 4 players? Painting, replacing windows, they can do it all. And also out in the community this week was Kendrick Perkins and Kevin Durant, who joined Eric Maynor at a Thunder Fit Clinic at Seaworth Academy in Oklahoma City.
Our students will never forget this, so it's a great day for Seaworth Academy. Things that we tell them every day, Perk could say, and it meant millions to them, so I think that would come better from them. You could see it in their eyes, and just very attentive and paying attention.
I saw Kevin talking to some kids down there, and they were, you know, the things that he said to them, they will never forget. We can talk and talk and talk, and they turn us off. They don't turn those people off. When people like Kevin come out and they see what they've achieved by being healthy and by taking care of their body, I think that's an invaluable life lesson and example for them.
I think the most important thing is telling them that they can do anything in life. They don't have to be basketball, you know, and Perk said a great thing where you always got to come out with an open mind.
You don't never put forth the effort, you're not going to get anything out of it. And, you know, basically, as far as anything with life, what I live by is, you know, hard work pays off. And always stay humble and always keep an open mind.
It's just great to come out here and just show them the type of guys we are every single day. We didn't just get here by just waking up one day being in the NBA. We worked hard to get here, so I think the lesson was learned.
I always have fun. You know, just coming in, because I was once this age, and, you know, a lot of them, you know, a lot of these kids have dreams of, you know, and they look up to us about being NBA players and stuff like that. So, you know, just to come in and show that we are down-to-earth people and that, you know, we regular people just like them. We just play basketball for a living. It's always a pleasure.
That's where it all started for us. So just to come in here and see some of the people that like is really interested in trying to get better in basketball, and like I said, it's a lot of fun, man.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Man, I can hear the excitement inside the school. It's amazing. That's right, the book bus is here.
Thunder fans, don't forget to take part in our Watch and Win contest this season. Not only do you have a chance to win tickets to an upcoming home game, but you are also automatically entered to win a trip to see the Thunder take on the Lakers in LA. Just visit thunder.nba.com and enter the code 7444 or text the code to 68278 for your chance to win.
This season, Thunder players and coaches have all had a chance to check out the Rolling Thunder book bus, and in this week's Stealing the Mic, the Sports Animals' Mike Steely got an opportunity to hop on and help out.
We are right outside Overholser Elementary School. The Rolling Thunder book bus is rolling up right now. Man, I can hear the excitement inside the school. It's amazing. That's right, the book bus is here.
What kind of thoughts were going through your mind when you heard the Thunder book bus was coming?
I was thinking that I could get some basketball books and think about all the basketball stuff they were going to have in there.
Melissa got the best story. Tell us about this book and why you picked it.
Because I think it's going to be like a real funny book. Because it looks like the pictures come alive in real life.
What appealed to you about Dracula not drinking lemonade?
It just sounded funny.
I think a lot of them at first didn't really know what the book bus was, but you could tell when they came out to the book bus. I mean, there's, wow, oh my goodness, the Thunder, I get it, yeah. So they were pretty pumped once they finally understood what this was.
Now, these kids seemed extra pumped up today. Were you surprised at how pumped up they were?
I was very surprised, but you know, when you see a big blue and yellow and orange Thunder bus pull up to your school, most of the kids get pretty excited.
The book bus reached a big milestone recently, having distributed over 50,000 free books to Oklahoma City students. Well, we thank you for joining us here at our Oklahoman studio for another edition of Thunder Insider presented by Integris Health. We'll see you again next week with plenty more on Thunder basketball.